Hello, my friends. Welcome back to my channel. Oh my goodness, I've had so many problems the last few days with my camera and my filming and all that. It's just crazy. And while I'm telling you about all that, I'm looking here at her hair, and this is really bugging me. There's like this, I got this weird line here. So I'm just pulling out my espresso, and I'm going to fix that because I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so I'm back to filming at an angle because it just, the difference in the way that the image films, I don't know why, is like night and day. And it really bothers me when a page does not look like, does not look in person like it does on film. That just really, it really bothers me. I want it to be as true as possible to what it really looks like, because if you guys are trying to, follow me, that's important. So I do always strive to show you as close as possible to real life what things actually look like. So that being said, now that I'm back to filming at an angle, I updated my phone. I'm just going to sit here and do a little, I keep seeing all these little things that I don't like. I upgraded my phone finally, which should have been done in, quite a while ago. And I don't know if the upgrade improved the camera or what, but I'm really happy with how this is filming right now. Now I may change my mind when I look back on it. But for right now, I'm going to say, yay, this looks pretty good. And I'm just going to get used to filming on an angle. I made a few changes to things so that it feels a little bit more comfortable. It's not quite the same as me doing it straight up, flat, but I can live with that. That's okay. So I thought that I would start on this branch here. Don't ask me why. I don't have I do kind of have a reason. But before I get to that reason, let's do the stem part. So I'm just going to put a little bit of regular old white in here. Just a few little highlighty bits. And then I'm going to try this 70% French gray. And see if that works. Maybe we'll do some of this and then a little bit of like light umber or something. Oh, let's do some espresso. No, it's okay. It's not bad. Okay, so the reason that I thought we would do this first is so that I didn't forget. So when I did my original, I tend to go for the same greens in my Prismas, like my favorite greens over and over again. And I really wanted to make sure that I used a different green, because when you have a lot of greens going on a page, if you use too many of all the same ones, it really starts to look flat, like there's not enough variation. So this is where my little handy dandy every pencil swatched together chart is really going to, I think, come in handy for us when we start doing these, when I continue along with doing these color alongs. So for the this branch, I actually used Luminance Chromium Oxide Green. because it had, yeah, it was the color that I wanted. But let's say you don't have Luminance Chromium Oxide Green. What could you use? So you could use Holbein Cactus Green. It's not a perfect match, but it's a good match. And if you don't have those, I'm going to tell you to use Kelly Green, Prisma Kelly Green, because, you know, we don't want anything real olivey. We want something more gray, I think like more gray green. So of the colors that I have here, if you don't have Holbeins, I would go with Prisma Kelly Green for this next part that we're going to work on right now. So I'm going to pull out this, which is my Chromium Oxide Green. 212 is the number. And we're just going to start at the base of the branch and we're just going to flick. We want to lift as we go so that those pine needles get skinnier at the end of the needle. So that's where that little flick comes in. Don't forget to turn that pencil just like you would if you were doing hair. We want to try and keep the point, the sharp, keep it kind of sharp. Alrighty, that worked pretty well. I think I would like to do some dark in here though. So let me just, don't do anything yet. Let me confirm that whoops. Well, that sucks. So, all right, hang on. All right, let me just see if I like this color. I do. So I'm just going to kind of randomly almost just put some of this darker, kelp green, PC 1090, I believe. Get myself organized here so I can, I'm trying to do better at telling you guys the numbers of the pencils. I don't always succeed with that, but I'm going to try. Because I know that apparently I'm pressing too hard with my Prisma. I know that, you know, not everybody speaks English and a lot of you rely on the closed captioning. So if I can speak the word or speak the number, then it might be easier for you guys. So we'll see. All right, so just a few kind of random dark ones in there, and I really like the way that looks. So that was easy. Yeah, Cool. Okay, so next, should we do the butterflies or the... No, I'm down here and I guess I'm kind of in the green mode. So we're gonna do these ferns here. So for these ferns, we're going to use apple green, which is PC 912. We're going to use Chartreuse, which is PC 989. We're going to use olive green, which is PC 911, and white. And if I add any other colors in there, I will let you know. Oh, and one more. We're going to use this light umber, which is PC 941. All right, so I'm going to get this in here down the middle. And you know what? Let's go ahead and just throw that right there too. Okay, so let's do this top. Let's do this top one first. I think it'll be easier then for me to fill in. I'm debating on just using, no, I'm going to draw it in because that's what I should do. Okay, so I know that this is really, really faint for you guys. It's faint for me. It's probably really faint for you too. And again, for me, it's really faint just because I used the light grayscale on the tan paper. I don't think it would be as light if you were on white paper. Okay, I think I can see everything else pretty well. All right, I'm going to start by putting some of this Chartreuse in here. And then I'm going to use apple green. Okay, I want some white. Just a little bit. All right, I'm going to leave that one as is for right now. Let's get this brown, this light umber in here. All right, so for this one, I'm going to start with apple green. Is that right? That just doesn't seem right. Let me just back up. Hang on, let me figure out what I want to do here. All right, I'm changing my mind. We're going to go with the olive green, PC 911. We're going to put that down first. And I'm going to kind of keep it, I think, close to the stem. Somewhat close to the stem. Yeah, the only problem with doing this on this angle is that I feel like I'm always kind of having to wrap my hand around. If you guys can tolerate me turning the page, that will help me a lot. So if it's really annoying to you that I turn the page and don't keep it straight on, please tell me in the comments. I don't know what is, you know, good, bad, or indifferent until you guys give me a comment and let me know. But this definitely makes it a little bit easier for me so that I'm not wrapping my arm around trying to do stuff. Okay, so I'm kind of keeping this color, fading it out to the edges, so I'm not coloring it's solid, you know, the whole leaf solid green. We're gonna all right, then we're going to use white. And blend in. So white on the outer edge. All right, let's throw some apple green on here to see what that does. Okay, I like that. And I'm kind of putting that in between where the white and the kelp green kind of meet. Okay, I don't mind that. In fact, I like that quite a bit. Let's do this one the same way. Before I do that, though, let me just see. Yeah, not super necessary. Okay. So back to olive green. Did I say kelp? I used the word kelp green before. It's olive green. Don't make that don't make that mistake. It's olive green. Okay, so olive green next to the stem. These fern leaves are really easy because they're just basically little oval leaves coming off of the center. You might be asking yourself, wait, what about all those little white dots that go up the center of the fern? I did not forget about those. We will take care of that. Okay, apple green. All right, let's do this one. This one I want a little bit more chartreusey, like this first one that we did. So let's do the whole thing in this chartreuse color. And then we'll take our olive green. Just feather out from the center, or, you know, from the stem. All right, well, it's silly to not finish this one before we do the before we finish these. So let's go ahead and do this one. I think I'm going to do this one kind of like I did these. So I will do the olive green. Feather that out. And we're going to use, let's see, I need to get some of this color on here. I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of this on those. Okay, and then I'm going to use my white. If you are doing this on white paper, I would just pick, instead of white, just pick a light green, like maybe pale sage or something like that, because we want it to be light, and the white mixes with this this olive green real nice. But I think if you use pale sage or something like that, you'd be happy. All right, then I'm going to go over, I might do some, think about doing like the top end with the Chartreuse. Just a little bit maybe, and then the rest of it with the apple green. Okay, now I kind of want the lines to show. So I'm finding I really like using a regular old pencil. Sometimes using a regular old pencil instead of a colored pencil will give you that dark line or whatever that you want. Now this only applies if it's supposed to be dark, but it marks over colored pencil perfectly, and it stays nice and thin, you know, so you don't have to like fight with a Verithin or something like that to get that little line. So don't be afraid to use a regular old pencil. They work so well. And it just slides right over the top of that colored pencil, which is awesome. All right. Posca pen time. I think I'm going to start from this side and work my way over since I'm right-handed. And these go just up on the top, like on top of that white line that we just did. Not Let me rephrase that. Above that white line that we just did. Doesn't have to be perfect. But I love what it does. I love how it looks. It just turns these right into ferns for me. So I am thinking that I should probably not, I don't need to waste time doing this in front of you because this is kind of like watching paint dry. So I think I will shut off the camera, finish this. It won't take but more than probably 5 minutes. But you could, this is, I mean, literally, this is all I'm doing is putting these little dots right along the edge of the leaves. So I will do that on these two, and then I will be right back. Okay, so that's done. So let's go ahead and start on this butterfly. I was going to maybe do this in post-production, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and zoom in right now. Maybe even a little bit more. Let's go with that. See. Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. So, I think I'm going to want to do a little bit of drawing in. Not much, but it looks like, you know, some of this got a little bit light. It's not bad. It was just this tiny little bit here. So we'll just get that in here. Okay, so let's do the white parts first so that we're not smearing the color into the white. So his little body here is white. This is white. I think I'm going to go ahead and put white down on here, even though I might glaze another color on top of it. This is kind of gray in here, so I'll leave that. All right, and then all of these are white. All right, let's do we've got some blue, we've got some orange. So I'm going to go ahead and do the blue first. I'm going to use non-photo blue. Because electric blue sucks. So we're going to just use non-photo blue, and that comes in here. And then I'm going to take pale vermilion. Let's see if that's a good color. That's a good color. That's going to go here. And then just feather it in a little bit on top of this white bit here. Okay, now I'm going to need to pull out some gray. And all of my grays are somewhere else. Figures. So, thankfully, I have backup. All right, let's do all right, so I've got a 10% cool gray. Oh, boy, it's big. I've got a 10% cool gray. Let me pull this back down again. I'm going to use that in here. And then I think I'm going to use this 50% cool gray. I'm kind of just outlining. All right, we need like a yellow. Let's do jasmine. Let's do a little bit of jasmine on here. Not a lot. I don't really want it to look yellow. I just kind of want it. That's almost too yellow. Maybe I do gray. I don't know. Go back over that with the white. What color do I want to use? Would eggshell be better? I guess if I put more yellow everywhere, it'll look better. All right, a little bit of this eggshell. What it really needs is the black. The black is going to make a big difference. So I'm going to just start outlining this. All right, and then the black black is going to go on the outer edge of this blue, just really soft. Let's get the black. Darken his body under here. And you don't have to do this. If you like these lines to be really skinny, you can just let the grayscale be alone. I am going to just cover them a little bit. All right, I think that's not terrible. Actually, these have lines. I think that's okay. It will really show up a lot better when we get the background on there. So, gosh, it looks so humongous. So, sorry about that, but you know, the butterfly's tiny, so I want to make sure you can see it okay. All right, so let's go with our white first. This can also be done with a Posca pen later if you feel like if you cover up too much of the white in whatever, with your black or whatever, you can always come in and use a paint pen. I think I used a paint pen on this. So, but I don't want to cover up what I'm doing. So I am going to put the white in, and then we can always fix it if I cover too much up. Okay. Next is going to be, and of course, I don't think I wrote down what I used for the butterfly. A really bad habit of not writing down stuff that I use. So let's, I could have sworn I pulled out another yellow. All right, so we have Sunburst Yellow. Let's try that out here. That's okay. That works. So Sunburst Yellow. And then I'm going to use, hang on, let me see. Yep, we'll do yellowed orange. PC 1002. I think a little bit more of that Sunburst Yellow. Back to yellowed orange. All right, then we're going to use yellowed orange all in here. And then let's use pumpkin orange, PC 1032. Just a little bit. That's good. All right, now I'm just going to go over the dark with black. If you wanted to use a pen instead of a pencil, you absolutely could. This actually comes down. This is actually white right there. Sometimes using a pen just works better. You know, like a fine liner pen. I don't know if I would use, well, use whatever works best for you. As you can see, I'm not using a Prisma black. Because I love my Farben black. It's harder than a Prisma black. might be one of those cases where that Posca pen is going to really come in handy. Yep, it really is. It will clean up these lines, I think, and make those circles look better. I don't know why I'm trying to make this hard on myself. I'm going to use a little bit of white just on top of his body. And then if we can just clean up some of these. Yeah, see, that looks a lot better. I want a little bit of, a little more orange down here. That's yellowed orange. Okay, I think he's good. Let's zoom out because, oh my goodness, I was so close and I don't even know if I just was completely covering what I was doing or not. I will say that the new camera in my update, I mean, it's not a new phone, it's just the update. I'm thinking I like a lot better. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you remember how it used to like pop when I would go from zooming in to back to regular, there wasn't any pop on that, which was lovely. And the color I'm thinking that this might be really a good thing. I'm just going to use my pencil for the lines because it draws such a skinny little line, and sometimes getting thin lines with colored pencils can be hard. So a regular old pencil for that. All righty. So did I miss anything? Are we ready for background? We're ready for background, which is awesome. So let me get out the what I need for that. And I'm hoping that I can do it on an angle. I've got this thing kind of hopefully secured strong enough that I can push on it and it not be a problem. I think she's ready for a background. So let me get what I need and I will be right back. Alrighty, so we are going to use Gelatos for the background. And I have them spread onto my Caran d'Ache palette. This is Olive, Aqua Dolce, I'm sorry, Olive, Olive and Snow Cone. Those are those two. Then I have some Aqua Dolce down here. I'm going to add white to my palette as well. Sorry, it's not called white. It's called coconut. So I'm going to add some coconut. I'm going to leave this for now. I am going to add one more color to the edges, and that is Bergamot. But I'm not going to add it to the palette yet because that's going to go on at the very end. I don't think I'm going to be able to have the palette on here. It's not going to stay. So basically, I'm going to mix this olive and this snow cone together. And that's what I'm going to use as the color. So let's go ahead and start at the top, I guess. I know that my hand is always in the way when I do these this way, but that's just kind of the way it has to be. So I'm just continuing to mix those two colors, that olive and the snow cone, together. Sorry, I know my hand is in the way. I don't know any other way to, to avoid that. It's just going to be what it is. I will say, sometimes my arm and my hand does get pretty tired from doing this. It might be a little bit easier if I were to do it straight up and down. If you feel, if it feels better to do it like this, by all means, do it like this. Whatever feels best to you. I want to get debating on whether or not to put a little bit of this color down in here or just fill it in. I think I'm just going to fill that in with colored pencil. It looks like I missed a little area where her hair probably should be. If you ever, the thing that I like about the gelatos is they tend to not deposit enough color on top of the colored pencils to where it really makes a difference, to where you're going, oh my God, I got pencil all over, or I got gelatos all over what I did. For some reason, well, the color pencil seems to, for the most part, kind of resist the gelatos. However, if you ever do get some on to your piece, onto your colored pencil, I'm just switching brushes. I'm switching to a smaller brush so that I can get in here better. Just take try a couple of different things. Sometimes just using a paper towel takes it off. But if you feel like the paper towel isn't doing the job, just take a little eraser and just gently rub it over the area that you want to remove, and it should come right off with no problem. Especially before it kind of cures. I'm just adding a little bit of those two colors back onto my palette. I'm going to start bringing some Aqua Dolce in. And maybe lightening the bottom of this a little bit. We are going to be using white too, so let's do that. Let's throw, I'm going to grab another brush. I have 2 sets of these short bristle stencil brushes that I absolutely love. There's a link to them down in the description box, or you can find them in my Amazon store. These brushes are one of the best investments that I've made, and they're not even that expensive, but for applying the gelatos, I've not found anything that I like as much, and they don't shed like the cheapy brushes that I've gotten before have shed their bristles and are now falling apart. And these I've been using for a couple of years now, and they are still as perfect as they were when I bought them. And I have 2 sets of them that I use, so that I kind of always have a clean brush in the size that I want. If you run out and you need a clean brush, these brushes clean up with water just fine. And then you can just dry it off really well on a towel, just really rub it, and you will, you should be able to get it dry enough that you can go ahead and use it again on another color without disturbing your paper, without, you know, making the paper wet. All right, I'm going to come back up and work my way down. Nice thing is, if you're working right on top of another green, you don't have to be quite as careful. All right, I'm going to start adding a little bit more of the snow cone. Just a tiny little bit more. I want to get kind of a variation a little bit. And then some Aqua Dolce. Maybe a little bit of that green down here. Okay, so I like that. I think I'm going to add a little bit of the white. White coconut is my most used color. I use it on almost every single time I do a gelato background for this exact reason. Just coming in and adding some kind of, I don't know, it's like cool smokiness. All right, now you can see that I've kind of covered a little bit of this leaf. So I have a couple of options. If I can find what I'm looking for, that would be good. I have so many pencils in my little my little photo box lids right now because I'm working on multiple projects at one time. Okay, I cannot find my eraser, and I really need my eraser. There it is. Okay, so first, make sure your eraser is clean. You don't want to be throwing orange colored pencil on a, on a green leaf. So you can just come in, you can kind of feel it. It feels swirly and a little moist. But you should be able to pull it off and just kind of clean off your eraser. Now, if you pull too much color off, if it does pull off some of the colored pencil, you can just come back in and add it back on there. So I'm going to take some, let's try Prussian green. Why is my camera shaking? Oh, because my, okay, sorry about that. I have my, my camera hovers over my desk my husband built me this really cool rig where my camera hovers over my desk, but nothing can touch the arm or else it shakes. And I had a box that was sitting on the table and touching the wooden arm, so that made the camera shake. That's why. Okay, so I just touched that up, and that looks just fine. All right, so the last, well, might not be the last. It's not the last, but we're getting there. I'm gonna wipe off an area of this palette because I put a little bit too much of the Aqua Dolce. All right, so I'm going to take some of this, no, not that, some of this Bergamot. And it's kind of a, I don't even know how to, it's a dark gray green is what is the best way that I can describe it. And I'm going to add a little bit of that on the outer edges. Why? No specific reason. I have always tended to like, even when I was scrapbooking and stuff, I always inked the edges of my paper with, like brown and stuff. There's just, I don't know, it's just something about it that I like. Okay, so I'll do a little bit here too. I think that's probably enough. Okay. Now we have a choice. In the past, I have used my white Oil Pastels. Hang on, I gotta find my, there it is. in the past I've used white oil pastels to do some of the little fairy lights, the little bokeh lights. I'm going to try, just because I feel like it, seeing if the white coconut will work. If I don't get a good enough of a circle, then I'm going to break out the oil pastels instead. But we're just going to, let's just try. So I've just got a little bit of that coconut. And it just depends on, all right, so that one is got a kind of a nice ring around it. I actually kind of like that. Let's just try the, continuing to use the coconut gelato instead. So I'm just going to add it on here lightly and then use my finger and just soften it a little bit. We will get a crisper circle if we use the oil pastels. So maybe that's what I'm going to wind up using. Well, that's not bad. I'm just being lazy, you guys. That is all it is. Sometimes we don't need to get complicated. Yeah, I think this is going to work just fine. Sometimes I just kind of wiggle my finger in there. Oh, I keep getting these. Why do I keep getting those? What am I doing that's causing that to happen? I don't know. I think sometimes you want your circles to be pretty well defined. I don't know. I'm not sure that I like that one. That's one nice thing about using the gelatos is if you don't like it, you just rub it away. All right. This is not proving quite as really as easy as it would be if I was using the oil pastels. So maybe I'm trying to be lazy, but I'm not getting the look that I might get if I used the oil pastels. All I would be doing is using a tiny little bit of mineral spirits on my finger and just getting some of that oil pastel on my finger. In fact, I might even try and do that. Let's try that with. So one of the things to make my my coloring easier on an angle was I brought the page right out to the very edge of the ledge, and it makes it more comfortable for me to rest my arm on, but it does not allow for any what am I trying to say? Everything slips off. There's no ledge now, basically. All right, I'm not going to be lazy. I'm going to stop being lazy. So hang on. Just bear with me. I'm going to rub this out. I don't like the way it looked. Those two I can leave. That one I'll leave. So let me just grab let me grab what I need and I'll come right back. So all I have is the tiniest little bit of odorless mineral spirits in a dish. I pulled out a different kind of oil pastel. When I first purchased my my other oil pastel, my Mungayo pastels, I also bought a set of 6 white ones because I knew I would be using a lot of white. And my Mangayo white is almost gone. So I'm going to try and see if the Paul Ruben one works as well as the Mangayo. So literally all I'm going to do is tap my finger into that and make it just a tiny little bit wet. And then I'm going to rub it on the tip of the pastel so that I get some of that on my finger. And probably should have started from the top and worked my way down. Let's just see if I don't. There's probably enough of that moisture still though on the end of the, yeah, this just, it kind of seems to work a little bit better. So we want to use some little teeny tiny ones as well. Just rub that on the tip. We can also use just a white pencil too, or you could also use a Posca pen if you want. What I like about doing them this way though is that you get a lot of really soft lights. They're not harsh like they would be if you used a pencil or Posca pen. The little tiny dots are okay with the pencil. Actually, this is working out really fine. I'm just kind of wiggling my finger over the circle and it's giving me some nice, I'm going to call these like fairy lights. Like they're little, I can't decide what size circle I want to use. There we go. I like how soft and kind of subtle it is. I'll do just a couple at the top. That one came out bright. I'm not using as much mineral spirits. It's possible that the tip of the pastel has enough, you know, on it, softness on it, that's letting me just go straight. I think that's enough. I don't want to go super duper crazy. Let's do one more. There. Okay, that was good. And the Paul Rubens worked just fine, so that's a good thing. All right, there's our girl. So I'm pretty happy with how she came out, I've got to say. Is there anything that I want to change or add? Because I know that that always happens. I might add a little bit more of this light umber in her hair just to, I don't really necessarily, my goal is not to darken it, but just to give it a little bit more warmth and a little bit more color. Actually, I think that there's supposed to be hair right there. Let's use some espresso. And then I think we said that we wanted some hair in here. All right, I think she came out pretty good. You can still see the shine that we've got going on her eyelid. And is there anything else? I'm still just me, this is just my own personal. I'm still not like 100% in love with the way that I did her mouth on this one. I like the way I did it the first time better, but it's not bad. I think we're done. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of February 2023. I will be back shortly to do the next page that I have for you, which is Rhea. And again, you can find both of these pages in my Etsy store. And please be sure to check out all the other incredible art and artists that are participating. I'm just going to add a few more flyaways here now that we've, because this is what I always do. I start saying goodbye and then I go, oh wait, so I'm just adding a few more of her hair flyaways. Yeah, please be sure to check out all the other artists that are participating. You can find that list. There's a Facebook group called Coloring Fiesta, which has all the information about the artists and good stuff like that. You can also follow the Monarch Coloring Events page, and that will have a lot of info for you. And I think that's it. So until I see you guys again, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. Happy coloring. Bye.